Shalom to the elect of Israel, to the hopeful elect of Israel. You Hebrew Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians. Gotta give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shah. The Most High, the Heavenly Father, his Hebrew name is Yahweh. Not Yahweh, not Jehovah, not God, not Elohim, not Most High, not Lord, not Yah, not Jah, not Ahai, not Allah. It's Yahweh. And his only begotten son name in the Hebrew is Yahweh Shah. Not Yahshua, not Yeshua, not Jesus Christos, not Jesus Christ, not Serapis Christos, not Yeshaya, not Yehoshua. It's Yahweh Shah. So got to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shah, Bahashem Rekah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elder bishops and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, who teach well, who are the apostles and elders of all of Israel, really concepted or not. In a sincere salutation to all the Akim, pushing this truth and believing this truth throughout the four ends of the earth, the entire world, waking up the hopeful elect. And shalom to the Akwa who are listening, learning. You few sisters who are listening, learning. Lord, what is edifying? Coming at you another lesson. Lord, what is be edifying? And I titled this lesson, World War III will be fought with ICBM'S, intercontinental ballistic missiles. So, a Russian article hit my news app and said that the first one said that the Russian missile killed 19 people, right? Then it was reposted and said, I don't know how true it is because I was looking for it on YouTube because it said, let me read the article because I put it in the chat. So I put the first one in the chat about it's a Russian-Ukraine war, 19 dead after Odyssey strike, right? The new one said Russian-Ukraine war, 119 dead after Odyssey strike. Now, when I first put it in the chat, it said only 19 was killed. So I don't know if they miss if it was a retweet and the 119 is off because I looked it up on Google and it's not showing. So I mean I looked it up on YouTube and it's not showing. So I'm play this first, then we'll get some precepts. But see, this thing is brewing up, man. And the point of this lesson about these intercontinental ballistic missiles that's going to be used to fight World War III, man. And the Lord said He created these. Okay, He created these missiles for this very thing, man. So let's get this. I want to play this. I want to show this first. This is the copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing non-profit, educational, or personal use tips to balance in favor of fair use. So you see it. So Lord, would it be edifying? Another daily edification, a Friday edification. So let's get this. Let's see, these are the weapons of the Lord. These are the weapons of Yahweh Shema Shah, man. Okay? And he created these devils to create these things, man. It tell you in Psalms 34, no, Psalms 34, Salakia, Psalms 37 and 15, that their own sword shall enter into their hearts, right? Meaning the weapons that they created. So let's get this. I got 3 clips I want to play about this incident that happened with these missiles. So let's play this one first. No, let's play this one first. So check this out. Oh, let me turn the volume down. so it won't be echoing or whatever. All right, so listen to this. It said key shipping hub for food. This city right here. Wow. So let me show you this other one. Like it. Bear with me here. These infomercials. Now I just queued these up. The infomercial still popped up. Bear with me. Okay. Well, actually, the infomercial didn't pop up. Okay, so look at this one. And you know, living here in Babylon the Great, man, living here in Babylon the Great, you know, the Lord, man, because this could be us, man. We could be living in these conditions, man. Living over there across that water, man, in these type of conditions. But you know, that's the judgment of the Lord, man. Whatever it is. Now, this is the one. This is like 8 minutes. So listen to this.
Ukraine says it has liberated the areas surrounding Kyiv as Russia's forces retreat. Meanwhile, in the south, Ukraine's strategic port city of Odessa has been hit by a suspected Russian missile attack. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky warns this could be the start of a Russian offensive to seize the east and south of the country. Natalie Kalada is tracking all the aspects of this story and joins us once again. Natalie, good morning. What's the latest?
Now, you got to remember, too, during the Soviet Union, and I just did this lesson the other day, man. During the Soviet Union, Ukraine was a part of Russia, man. It was a part of the Soviet Union, man. So when the Lord said, and remember in the video I did the other day, they said that this is a new Cold War, right? They said this is a new Cold War, which it is. Ezekiel 38, man. The Lord said he's going to put hooks into the jaws of Magog, man. Okay, Gog and Magog, and turn them back, man. Right? Well, this is prophecy being fulfilled, man. This is prophecy, man. The Ukraine, just like China, is taking back Taiwan because Taiwan was a part of China. Well, Ukraine is a part of Russia, the old Soviet Union, man. This is not nothing that's out of the ordinary, man. This is how things supposed to be. This is Yahweh Shema Shah prophecies being fulfilled, man. So let's listen.
Good morning, John. Well, missile strikes hit the port city of Odessa this morning. Plumes of smoke, could be seen rising above the city. Russian forces say they were targeting oil facilities used to supply Ukrainian troops in Mykolaiv, and we're waiting to hear if there were any casualties from that strike. For weeks now, the port city of about 1 million people has been preparing for attack. The city's catacombs are being repurposed as bomb shelters. Meanwhile, Ukrainian forces have retaken much of Kiev and the surrounding area. And as they do, we are hearing rather disturbing reports of civilian.
Now, I guess this was before they found the first 19, because it's a port city of Odessa hit by suspected Russian missile attack. No reported casualties. Because when it hit my phone, it said 19 was found dead. Then this morning, that was last night. This morning it said it's 119. So I don't know.
Deaths. Journalists have captured some of those disturbing images in Bucha. Given the graphic nature of those images, we are not going to show you all of what we are seeing, but the images, we can tell you, show bodies strewn across the street. Some appear to have had their hands tied behind their backs, bags placed over.
Man, can you imagine soldiers walking around your neighborhood in your city like it's just a normal day? Look at Esau on the bike with his son. Hey, it's just a normal day, man. You see, this is gonna be the new normal right here in Babylon the Great, man. But Jake don't believe this, because they following guys like Mark the Messenger, man.
Over their heads. This is coming from officials on the ground, as well as The Guardian in the UK newspaper. The BBC says it has also separately confirmed the killing of at least 2 civilians on highways leading into the capital. And just a little while ago, I heard, John, from the Vice Prime Minister of Ukraine, Mikhailo Fedorov, who said some of those individuals appeared to have bullet holes in the back of their heads. We know the Ukrainian minister.
And look, none of that's gonna never get cleaned up, man, until Yahweh Shah come, man. You see them burnt up tanks. This is the new normal, man. These things are gonna be like this, and this is how North America gonna look, man. And they showed you in a lot of movies. There's a lot of movies, man. You got I Am Legend. You got what's this movie? The Road. The TV show, the episodes of Walking Dead, man. Okay, you got Book of Eli. This is gonna be the new normal right here in North America, Babylon the Great, man.
Ministry of Defense says that the bodies of 4 or 5 naked women were also found on the ground about 20 kilometers outside of Kiev. It appears some may have been attempted to be burned. A local MP, Alexei Gonochenko, spoke to us last hour on the ground from Bucha, describing what he saw.
You can see the car, which is burned down completely. I saw the cars which also burned down with the bodies of people inside them, and one car with a child who was burned down in the car. It's absolutely awful. It's a real genocide, and the war crimes which were committed by Russian army and Russian forces.
Now, Ukrainian officials today are also citing witness reports accusing Russian forces of using children as human shields as they retreated in order to avoid fire and protect their equipment. The country's attorney general says they are gathering a dossier of claims, saying they plan to hand that information over to the International Criminal Court. They say they have seen instances of this happening in several areas, including Sumy, Kiev, and Chernihiv. So we will, of course, continue to watch for that. CBC, however, has not been able to independently verify those claims. John.
Natalie Kalata, thanks for this. With more on this, we're joined by Andrei Soldatov. Now, he is a Russian investigative journalist and an expert on Russian security services. The West's assessment of Putin's war is that it's not going as planned. Russia's forces seem weaker and less prepared, and the Ukrainian resistance is stronger than expected. So Thank you for joining us, Mr. Soldatov. What are you hearing about your sources in Russia?
Well, I'm hearing a lot of confusion. People in the security services seems to be extremely confused about what is going on in Ukraine, and the military also do not understand several basic things about this war. There is still some strange elements nobody actually can understand. The chain of command is unclear. There is no one commander of the Russian troops who is actually in charge of the situation on the battlefield. We have only the Minister of Defense and the Chief of the General Staff, and even the Minister of Defense disappeared for 2 weeks and re-emerged just last week.
So what is going on in terms of the chain of command and Putin's control, or maybe I should ask Putin's understanding of what's going on in Ukraine?
Well, it looks like while Putin doesn't actually understand completely, it doesn't have a real picture, what is going on in Ukraine. He's been angry at his intelligence agencies almost immediately after the war started. But his way of fixing things was to start repressions against his security services. So he placed several people under house arrest, and he launched some criminal investigations, but it doesn't help. And nothing actually is improving in terms of the chain of command. We have lots of generals. I mean, the Russian troops have lots of generals killed. But again, who is in charge of the joint group of forces of the Russian troops in Ukraine is still unclear.
As you well know, the Russian armed forces are huge. There were as many as 200,000 troops on the border of Ukraine for quite some time before they invaded the country. Presumably a high level of training, certainly plenty of equipment. We know that. What has gone wrong with, from the Russians' point of view, their invasion of Ukraine?
Nah, I just want to show about these missiles, right? Now, this is okay. So maybe whoever put this up, they put it up wrong. So it do say Russian Ukraine. Man, it's pouring down out there. Russian Ukraine war. It say 19 dead after Odyssey strike. Zelensky say EU membership should not take years of decades. Should not take years of decades. So anyway, it say the US announces new $820 million military aid package to Ukraine. Now Babylon the Great is hurting, man. It's hurting. So they send in another 820 million. It say US announces new $820 million military aid package to Ukraine. The US announces on Friday that it will provide Ukraine with an additional 820 million in military aid. Right? Babylon the Great, listen, it's over there in Skid Row in California, right? Peoples are homeless, man. No place to stay. You got, did a video a while ago. You got lawyers and people with high-end jobs, man. They're staying in their RVs. They're staying in their trailer houses. I mean, they're staying in their vans, their RVs, right? But you sending an additional $820 million for military aid for Ukraine? Well, guess what? It makes sense. Let's read it. What did the Lord say? Prophecies say, the Lord say, forget about, now it's crazy how them missiles hit that city in Odyssey, Odessa, Salakia, Odessa, and it say one of the little cities is one of the main food hubs for Ukraine, man. This is Joel chapter 3 and verse 9. This is what I didn't want to start here, but let's read it. This is Joel 3 and 9. It reads, Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Prepare war. Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. This is the point. The Lord say, beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. So what we see going on is the Lord saying, forget about your food. Forget about plowshares and pruning hooks are tools used for agriculture, right? For farming. They are farming tools. The Lord say, beat your plowshares in the swords, beat your plowshares in the missiles, and your pruning hooks in the spears. Meaning take that funding, take that money, take all that energy that you're using for food, right? And put it into your military, put it into your defense system. Because World War III is brewing up. So you got these devils, Babylon the Great, and like we said, we talk about it all the time. You got North America, Babylon the Great is defending Ukraine from Russia. Babylon the Great, North America is also defending Taiwan from China. Babylon the Great, North America is also defending Israel from Iran, man. Their army is spread thin, man. North America is being, it's homelessness all over Babylon the Great, man. And as the what's the word? Statistics have showed that 60% of abortions coming from so-called white women. Okay? Guess what else? Guess who's mostly on Section 8, HUD, Habitat Housing, Social Security Disability, EBT? Guess who's on that? It's mostly Job 9 and 24s. See, they use their media, which you go back to medium, which they're witchcraft, to lie. Just like they say the worst peoples on the planet Earth are so-called Negro, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians, which the lesson I'm going to get into. I got it already queued up. Violence beget violence, right? You took Babylon the Great by violence from Gad and Reuben and Issachar. You came and destroyed Judah, Benjamin, Levi in Jerusalem by what? By violence. But I don't want to get into that till I do my next lesson after this one, Lord willing. So, but these devils, the Lord got the curses on them, man. Deuteronomy 30 and 7. They have a what is called a epidemic, right? On drugs, on opioids. That's an opioid epidemic, Salakia. There's an opioid epidemic. They say they are dying faster than they can be born because they're not reproducing, right? Because most of their women are getting with Jake, right? They have a suicide rate at an all-time high, and they have an OD rate that's at an all-time high dealing with Job 9 and 24s. That's the curses on them. And when you look at the average Jake right now in your city, Jake doing better than you see these Job 9 and 24s, man. Okay? You got Jake riding around, even I'm sure they breaking their back paying them high car payments and car insurance for these Challengers and Chargers and Camaros and these whips, BMWs and these Lexuses, but Jake doing better than Esau. I'm talking about lower level Jakes and lower level Job 924s because the curses is on them, man. And guess what else come with it? Missiles, destruction, them hating each other, man. It said the Egyptian shall be against the Egyptian. So it say, beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say I'm strong. Now, this is Isaiah 54 and 16. While you Jake's thinking there ain't no missiles in the Bible, man. The Lord say these are the weapons of his armory, man. This is Isaiah 54 and 16. It reads, behold, I have created this smith that blow up the coals in the fire. What's a smith? A person that make weapons, man. Okay. The Lord took these German scientists, right? Teaming, as to tell you, right? And they created the atom bomb, right? Now they split the atom. Now they got nuclear capability, man. These ICBM'S, these intercontinental ballistic missiles. It say, behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, and that bringeth forth an instrument for his works, and I have created the waster to destroy. Now I want to see what it say on Google for the word waster. Because when you go to the blue letter, it tell you what it means. So let's look this up. And most of the time, it tell you when you type in certain words on Google, it say as Bible, as word from the Bible. It say, let's see what it got here for waster. So it don't give you the word, right? So let's go to the blue letter and see what it say. The Lord said He created these smiths to create these missiles, man. So let's get it here. So lucky. Let's get it here. Let me turn this off. So that was Isaiah 54. So this is the word for waster. Bear with me.
Strong's H 7843. Shacheth.
To destroy, corrupt, go to ruin, to be marred, be spoiled, be corrupted. It said be ruined, be rotten, right? So strong definition, it got waster. It's a spoiler, corrupt, destroyer, destroy, destroyer. So it's a destroyer. It's a utterly waste, perish, right? So the Lord said He created these missiles. He created the waster to destroy, right? It say, and I will have, it say, and I have created the waster to destroy. So a waster is right here. The word waster means to destroy. So when you go to Revelations 9, it's Revelation 9 and 16. It reads, and the number of the army of the horsemen were 200,000, and I heard the number of them. And thus I saw the horses in the vision, and them that sat on them, having breastplates of fire, and of jacinth and brimstone, and the heads of the horses were as the heads of lions, and out of their mouth issued fire and smoke and brimstone. So this is the best description of the missiles that John can give. Because in the ancient time, there wasn't a such thing as missiles. Okay? So what he's showing you is this is his interpretation of what he saw. He said again, Revelation 9 and 16, and I heard Salaki, and the number of the army of the horsemen were 200,000, because that's how they fought in the ancient time, right? On horses, shields, daggers, spears, swords, or they charged out at each other on foot. It say, and the number of the army of the horsemen were 200,000, which is 200 million. The warhead that's on the missiles is multiple. When the warhead come off, it's multiple missiles in the warhead. It say, and I heard the number of them, and thus I saw the horses in the vision, and them that sat on them, having breastplates of fire and of jacinth and brimstone, and the heads of the horses were as the heads of lions, and out of their mouths issue fire and smoke and brimstone. By these three was a third part of men killed by the fire and by the smoke and by the brimstone, which issue out of their mouths. Because it's talking about the warheads. It said the heads are like lions, right? It say verse 19, for their power is in their mouth because of the warheads at the tip of the missile, and in their tails, for their tails were like unto serpents. When the missiles get propelled off, it leave a smoke trail, okay? And had heads, and with them they do hurt. Now John say right here in Revelation, and the number of the horses, and the number of the army of the horsemen were 200,000, and I heard the number of them. And thus I saw the horses in the vision and them that sat on them. So John and Joel saw the same vision. Listen to this. This is Joel 2 in verse 4. Joel and John saw the same vision of the missiles. It reads, this is Joel 2 and 4. The appearance of them is as the appearance of horses, and as horsemen, so shall they run. You see, they both saw the same vision of the missiles. Listen, like the noise of chariots on the top of mountains, shall they leap, like the noise. Listen to this. It say, like the noise of a flame of a fire that devoureth the stubble, as it say, as a strong people set in battle array. Because in the ancient time, you got men on both sides of the war field, right? And they charged out at each other with swords, shields, helmet, body armor, daggers, spears, all these different, right? Tools, right? Instruments for war, right? Now remember, it say, like the noise of chariots on the top of mountains shall they leap, like the noise of a flame of a fire that devoureth the stubble, as a strong people set in battle array. It's as a strong people set in battle array. There's a precept to link that. Listen to this. Isaiah chapter 9, verse 5 reads, for every battle of the warrior is with confused noise and garments rolled in blood. This is how they fought in the ancient time. Again, with whole body armor, with shields, swords, daggers, spears, right? It say, for every battle of the warriors with confused noise and garments rolled in blood. But this, what? World War III, but this shall be with burning and fuel of fire. Now remember in Joel 2, it said, as a strong people set in battle array, meaning the armor, right? Shields, spears, daggers, and swords. For every battle the warriors with confused noise and garments rolled in blood. But this shall be with burning and fuel of fire. And the Lord say right here in Isaiah 9, as a matter of fact, let's read this. It say, Isaiah 9 and 18, for wickedness burneth as the fire, it shall devour the briars and thorns, and shall kindle in the thicket of the forest, which is talking about amongst 2/3 of our people and heathen. It say, and they shall mount up with the lifting up of smoke. From what? The missiles, man. Here's the point. It say, verse 19, through the wrath of Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, of hosts, is the land darkened. It say, and the people shall be as the fuel of the fire. No man shall spare his brother. What it means is the people shall be as the fuel of the fire. The more, the more wood you throw on a wood on if you got, I'm from the country, and we always make little bonfires just like Esau do, right? When we kill a deer, we skin a deer, right? When you make a bonfire, the more wood you throw on it, the bigger the fire get, right? The Lord say, again, through the wrath of Yahweh of hosts is the land darkened, and the people shall be as the fuel of the fire, man. The more people, the more fire, man. Okay? So back in Joel 2 and 5, it reads, the appearance of them is as the appearance of horses, and as horses, so shall they, and as horsemen, so shall they run. Like the noise of chariots on the top of mountains, shall they leap. Like the noise of a flame of the fire that devoureth the stubble. It's telling you what it's talking about. It say, as a strong people sit in battle array. Before their face, the people shall be much pained. All faces shall gather blackness. They shall run like mighty men, talking about the missiles. They shall climb the wall like men of war. It's a like men of war. It's not talking about men of war. It's talking about the missiles, but they like men of war, right? And they shall march everyone on his way. When you see the missiles get shot out of the silos, they one at a time, right? It say, and they shall march everyone on his way, and they shall not break their ranks, because every missile that gets shot out, it has a target. It has a what do they call it? a ground zero point. It say, neither shall one thrust another. They shall walk every one in his path. And when they fall upon the sword, they shall not be wounded. They shall run to and fro in the city. They shall run upon the wall. They shall climb up upon the houses. They shall enter in at the windows like a thief. Right? So you got the missiles that go up into the atmosphere and they come back down, right? And that vacuum seal also is going to enter into every place. But it's talking about when it goes up into the sky and they go up and they come back down, which is they say it take 30 minutes for them to go up and come back down. That's why I tell you in Revelation 18, for in 1 hour shall North America be destroyed. Okay, it say the earth shall quake before them. This is how we know it's not talking about men on horses. It say the earth shall quake before them, the heaven shall tremble, the sun and the moon shall be darkened, and the stars shall withdraw their shining because of the clouds, the mushroom cloud from the missiles. This is Isaiah 13 and 15. And where are these missiles coming from? If they come into Babylon, the Great North America, where are they coming from? It's Isaiah 13 and 5. They shall, it say, they come from a far country, from the end of heaven, even the Lord and the weapons of his indignation to destroy the whole land. It say, how ye, for the day of the Lord Yahweh is at hand, it shall come as a destruction from the Almighty, because it's going to be like a thief in the night. Therefore shall all hands be faint, and every man's heart shall melt, and they shall be afraid. Pains and sorrows shall take hold of them. They shall be in pain as a woman that travaileth. They shall be amazed one at another. Their faces shall be as flames. Okay, and they tell you in the terrifying fear, man. And when you read in Isaiah 14 and Zechariah 14 and what is that? Zechariah 14 and 12. It say the eyes shall be consumed in their holes, the tongue shall consume in your mouth, right? It say verses 8, Isaiah 13 and 9. Behold, the day of the Lord Yahweh cometh, cruel, both with wrath and fierce anger, to lay the land desolate, and he shall destroy the sinners thereof out of it. You see? So let's get this. This is Jeremiah chapter 50 and verse 25. Matter of fact, let's read 24. It's Jeremiah 50 and 24. It reads, I have laid a snare for thee. This is the Lord talking to Babylon, the great North America. I have laid a snare for thee, and thou also take it, O Babylon, and thou was not aware. Thou art found and also caught, because thou hast striven against Yahweh. The Lord have opened his armory and have brought forth the weapons of his indignation. For this is the work of the Lord, Yahweh Shemawashah of hosts, power of hosts, in the land of the Chaldeans. Now look, verse 26 say, come against her from the utmost border, open her storehouse, cast heaps up. It say, cast her up as heaps and destroy her utterly. Let nothing of her be left. The only thing that can destroy utterly is missiles, man. They say the missile heat, the heat from the missiles is over 1,000,000 degrees in Fahrenheit, man. And that's why I tell you in 2 Peter chapter 3 and 10, it reads this. See, this is serious, man. This is prophecy. But you still got Jake talking about ain't no missiles in the Bible, man. But the day of the Lord Yahweh, Hashem Yahushua, will come as a thief in the night. Because Jake gonna look up and the missiles gonna be coming. Jake gonna be partying, clubbing, marrying, eating, building. Like it tell you in Luke 17, 26 through 29. Matthew, what is that? Matthew 24, 37, 39. Jake gonna be partying and playing, enjoying life. As it say, building, planting, selling, buying, marrying, drinking, giving in marriage, eating, chilling. And they're gonna look up and the missiles gonna be coming, man. It say, but the day of the Lord, Yahweh Shema Shah, will come as a thief in the night, in the which the heavens, it's ain't talking about the spiritual realm heavens, earth is known as a heaven. That's why it's a saying called, this is the white man's heaven and the black man's hell. Earth is a heaven. It's a rulership for them that's in control. This is heaven for them. It say, in the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise from what? The missiles. It say, and the elements. What's made of elements? Everything that you see, cars, buildings, the streets, people, everything. It say, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. From what? What can melt steel and iron? Fire. What do they do? How do they make swords? They melt it. What do they do to the gold and silver to get the impurities out of it? They melt it. With what? Fervent heat, man. It say, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burnt up. What's the works? Wickedness. By who? Esau, Edom. It say, the earth also and the works that are therein shall be burnt up. Now the scripture tell you in Ecclesiastes 1, the earth abideth forever. The earth ain't gonna be destroyed. It's the works on the earth that's gonna be destroyed and laid desolate. Your chief cities, Babylon the Great, North America, first and foremost. Okay? And other parts of the world are gonna be destroyed. Just like Israel. It gotta be burnt up, man. The Lord gotta cleanse it off to establish his kingdom, which Israel is gonna be the headquarters for the rulership of the Heavenly Father, his only begotten son. Okay? And the King David and the Israelites, that's gonna be the headquarters. It gotta be cleaned up, man. It say, verse 11, seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved. Dissolved. What can dissolve? What can dissolve anything? Fire. It say, what manner of persons are ye to be in all holy conversation? The word conversation meaning your conduct, right? We walk by faith, not by sight. It say in godliness. It say looking for and hastening unto the coming of the day of God, wherein the heavens being on fire. You see, it's talking about the spiritual realm heavens. It's order up there in the spiritual realm. It say, wherein the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. You see? So when you go to Malachi 4 and 1, that's what the Lord said it. Malachi chapter 4, verse 1. For behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven. As an oven, as an oven. And all the proud, yea, all that do wickedly, shall be stubble. And the day that cometh shall burn them up, 2/3. The proud, the wicked, the stubble, the proud and the wicked. It say, saith Yahweh of hosts, that it shall leave them neither root nor branch. But unto you that fear my name shall the Son of Righteousness arise with healing in his wings, meaning this truth. This truth is shining throughout the four corners of the earth to those predestinated men and women. Lord willing, we be of that elect number. It say, and ye shall go forth and grow up as calves of the stall, and ye shall tread down the wicked, for they shall be ashes under the sole of your feet in the day that I shall do this, saith Yahweh of hosts. You see? So let's get on. This is Zechariah 14 and 12. It reads, man, it's getting down out there. And this shall be the plague wherewith the Lord will smite all the people that fought against Jerusalem. Talking about you heathen nations. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth, man. What can do this? The missiles, man. Read again so you can listen. Did you hear that? Zechariah 14 and 12. And this shall be the plague wherewith the Lord will smite all the people that fought against Jerusalem. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet. What can do that? And this is the Lord talking, who you love so dearly that the Lord is all love. What is he talking about right here? And this shall be the plague wherewith the Lord, Yahweh Shemawashah, will smite all the people that fought against Jerusalem. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth. You see that? This is the Lord saying he created these weapons for what? It said they come from a far country in Isaiah 13:5, right? Well, guess who's using them? Russia, China, Iran. Main nations is Russia and Iran. Russia and Iran is the same two nations that came together as the Medo and Persian Empire in Daniel 7, in Daniel's 2, okay, in Daniel's 8 to take down the Babylonian Empire, man. This is the same thing is happening right now, man. Let's read this. In Ecclesiastes 1 and 9, it reads, the thing that have been is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done, and there is no new thing under the sun. So you see, the same Medo and Persian Empire, okay, is coming to take down the new Babylon. It say there is no remembrance of former things, Salakia, verse 10. Is there anything whereof it may be said, see, this is new? It have been already of old time, which was before us, which is what? The ancient Babylonian Empire, which today is the modern day empire, North America, right? And you got the Medo and Persian Empire, which is today Iran and Russia, man. This is Ecclesiastes 3 and 15. It reads, that which have been is now future prophecy, just like ancient prophecy, and that which is to be have already been, and God requireth that which is past, man. You see it? You hear it? So this is Jeremiah 50 and 9. Listen what the Lord say. The Lord said he created the smith that blow the clothes in the fire, man. Okay? This is Jeremiah 59. For lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations. You can go read that in Ezekiel 38, 1 through 7. It say from the north country, which is talking about Russia, and those countries that's over there surrounding Russia, and they shall set themselves in array against her. What it said in Joel 2, and let's read again. In Joel 2, see how they link together? Joel 2 and 5, it reads, like the noise of chariots on the top of mountains shall they leap, like the noise of a flame of fire that devours the stubble, as a strong people set in battle array. You see it? Jeremiah 59 again. That's cold. It say, for lo, I will raise and call to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations from the north country, and they shall set themselves in array against her. That's cold. I never caught that. All the times I've been reading these scriptures, I never caught that. It say, they shall set themselves in array against her. From thence shall she be taken. Here is the point. Their arrows shall be as of a mighty expert man. None shall return in vain. What arrows? It said in Isaiah 13 and 5, it said they come from a far country, right? These arrows, it's not talking about an arrow you shoot with a bow and arrow or a crossbow. This is talking about missiles, man. Y'all saw the movie Broken Arrow? The movie with what's this guy? John Travolta and this guy Christian Bale. Was it Christian Slater? Christian Slater. The movie called Broken Arrow. What was talking about? It was talking about a stolen missile, man. Okay? There is nothing new under the sun with the Lord, man. So I was finna get oh, so in Psalm, matter of fact, let me get this first before I forget it. This is Psalms 37 and 14, right? It reads, the wicked have drawn out the sword and have bent their bow to cast down the poor and needy and to slay such as be of upright conversation, meaning them that's teaching the truth, right? They're taking down brother's video. The apostle channel is destroyed, man. I'm talking about archives, tens of thousands of videos from all four of the apostles and elder bishops and elders gone, man. Gone. If you've been watching in the last 5 years, man, there are hundreds of thousands of videos that's gone, man. Okay, from Pastor Ha, Apostle Gabar, Apostle Ramla, Apostle Ricard, the elders. Videos is gone, man. Upright conversation. Verse 15 is my point. Their sword shall enter into their own heart, and their bows shall be broken. So the Lord said, what in Isaiah 54:16? He created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, right? To do what? To destroy them, man. And he's using them. He had these German Job 924s to create the atom bomb. Now they split the atom. Now they got ICBM'S to destroy themselves, man. That's why I tell you in 2 Ezra 11:39. Let's read it. The Lord say this. See, this is how cold the Lord is, man. He's using them to destroy them, man. Because nobody is worse than the Job 924s on the earth, man. That's why he said he's going to destroy them. Who's destroying the earth, man? Right? Jeremiah 51:25, Revelation 11:18, man. Who's destroying the earth with chemtrails, GMO food, contaminated waters, right? Burning fossil fuels, taking the oil out of the earth, man. That earthquake that killed those Afghanistan people over there. Why do you think over 1,000 of them died and they said 1,500 injured? The tectonic plates are scrubbing together, man. There's no lubrication. They're taking all the oil out the earth, man. Now, to show you how cold the Lord is, when Yahweh said in Matthew 24, there shall be earthquakes, right? Rumors of wars. The Lord ain't telling you in the scriptures how the earthquakes are going to be performed. He ain't had to tell us that. See, that's how cold the Lord is in being simple, man. He just told us, listen, it's going to be earthquakes, wars, and rumors of wars. He didn't say, oh yeah, and the earthquakes is going to happen because some people of the earth is going to take the oil out of the earth, out of the ground. He don't have to go into detail. He gave us the basics. You see? And we watch prophecy unfold, man, in the news. And we filter it through the scriptures, man. So it say, 2 Ezra 11:39, are not thou it that remainest of the fourth beast, which was the Roman Empire? Are not thou it that remainest of the four beasts, Salakia? Are not thou it that remainest of the four beasts, right? Which is North America, Babylon the Great today, which you had the Roman Empire, then you had Babylon the Great, North America, came out of Great Britain, right? It say, are not thou it that remainest of the fourth beast, which was the Roman Empire, whom I made to reign in my world, that the end of their times might come through them. You see? You got to get a precept to go with that. When you go to Jeremiah 50, it says this. Jeremiah 50:45. It reads, therefore hear ye the counsel of Yahweh that he hath taken against Babylon, and his proposals that he hath proposed against the land of the Chaldeans. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them. You see, it's talking about the Job 9:24s. Let's read 2 Ezra 11:39 again. It reads, are not thou it that remainest of the four beasts, whom I made to reign in my world, that the end of their times might come through them? 2 Ezra 6:9. Esau is the end of the world. Jacob is the beginning of it, their followers. Right? And like I read in Psalms 37:15, it said their swords shall enter into their own heart. Right? The Lord had them to create these ICBMs from the atomic bomb. Right? They split the atom. So this is Job 20. Listen to this. This is Job 20 and 22. It reads, in the fullness of his sufficiency, which is them creating their new world order, right? It say in the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. That's what is that? That's Jeremiah 51:8, right? It said Babylon had been a golden cup in the Lord's hand, right? That made all the earth drunken, and the nations are mad, right? It's talking about the other nations. That's why we keep telling you all the allies of North America, it's 193 nations. I showed you the other day. They all going to turn and join the BRIC nation, which is Russia, China, India, Brazil. Iran going to get in there too. Iran got to get in there. It's prophecy that they do, man. Okay? So they're going to turn on North America. It say, every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. When he is about to fill his belly, God shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him, and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. Rain what? Those arrows, man. It's told you in Jeremiah 59, right? Their arrows shall be of a mighty expert man. Why does it say their arrows should be of a mighty expert man? Because them Russians got better missiles than Babylon the Great, man. Okay? Putin and them, whoever be in rulership, when this plays out and goes down, their missiles. Hey, the guy said Mike Maloof. I do a video on all the time from RT, but they done cut RT out because Babylon is in their feelings. So now we don't even got RT. They in their feelings. Michael Maloof, which was he worked at the Pentagon. He said that the missile that Russia got, North America cannot detect them if they get shot off, man. Okay. It say, when he is about to fill his belly, God shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him, and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. Eating meaning him trying to fulfill his new world order, to make everybody take the MOTB, to have everybody right now. You see, they got these channels, right? They got what's this called? They got Babel, right? They got what's the other one? To make you learn these different languages. They got Babel. And why is it called Babel? Right? The one of those, what is called the sites you can go and learn Spanish or whatever, right? The other one, what is called Rosetta Stone. They got these different sites for you to learn different languages. Did not the Lord do that in Genesis the 11th chapter, man? When he confounded the languages, right? Everybody spoke one language at that time. Then he split the languages up. You see what these devils doing with this site Babel. Babel is called. It's called Babel. That's what they call Babel. Babel, right? Which is what? Confusion. So you can go learn these other languages. Show you, man, this is nothing new, man. This is the same Babylon in Genesis 11, man. Okay? The same Babylon in Daniel 7, Daniel's 2. So it say, when he is about to fill his belly, God shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him, and shall rain upon him while he is eating, while he is creating his new world order, his new agenda. What they call it now? It was called Agenda 2021, right? Now it's called Agenda 2030, man. Controlling all food sources, controlling all the resources. It say, he shall flee from the iron weapon, and the bow of steel shall strike him through. Listen, show you right here plainly that it's talking about intercontinental ballistic missiles coming out of their housing, which is the silos. It say verse 25, it is drawn and cometh out of the body. What's drawn? The missiles coming out of the silo. Yeah, the glittering sword cometh out of his gall. Terrors are upon him. You see, all darkness shall be hid in his secret places. A fire not blown shall consume him. You see it? It say a fire not blown shall consume him. That's the missiles, man. It shall go ill with him that is left in his tabernacle, man. So the Lord, Yahweh Shema Bashah, had these devils to create these missiles to destroy themselves, man. Because the end of their times, it got to come through them. Which is who? The Russians is still Job 9:24. It's the same people. They're just in another country, man. You see? Hey, so I just want to go into that. Lord willing to edify. I got another lesson I want to do because brother's going live today. And brother moderating. I gotta be on brother's channel watching. There's a lot going on Fridays. It's a beautiful day every week, man. Brothers be fired up. So Lord willing, I know the brother Dawada from GMS Birmingham. That brother always go live between 5 and 5:30. So tune in. Other brothers live. And I gotta go back and watch the brother Virgil Island Straight Gate. I had just woke up and I saw you was live, but it had ended. I'm gonna go back and watch your video, Lord willing. Got a lot on my mind with these lessons, man. There's a lot going on. But the water for tuning in, gotta give all praise and glory to Yahweh Shema Shah, Bahashim Rikah Kodash. Give honors to the apostles and the elder bishops and elders of Great Millstone, who are well, who teach well, who are the apostles and elders of all of Israel, ready to accept it or not. And a sincere salutation to all the octane pushing this truth and believing this truth throughout the four ends of the earth, the entire world, waking up the hopeful elect. And shalom to the walk who are listening and learning. If you sisters who are listening and learning, Lord wasn't edifying. The next time I say shalom, walk about the ball. Lord willing, I'll be back with I already got it queued up with violence beget violence. Dealing with these devils, man. Hey, I'm dealing with Matthew 11:12 when they say the kingdom of heaven suffered violence, which is us, the kingdom of heaven, Israelites. And saying the violent take it by force. I kind of read a couple precepts yesterday in the other lesson. So the spirit was on me. I went through and put all the scripture together to deal with the kingdom of heaven suffered violence, and the violent take it by force. So the same way Esau took us down, guess what? Yahweh Shema Shah is going to return the favor. Okay? The same way you took down Jerusalem, the same way you took down Gad and Reuben and Issachar and Ephraim, okay, and Manasseh and Cuba and Manasseh and Ephraim and Simeon, okay, that's the same way North America got to go out, man, with violence. Violence beget violence, man. Okay, so the water tuning in. Till next time, I say shalom, wa blah blah blah.